Hey, Kim, let's take a quick trip down memory's lane. 20 years ago, January of 2000, we had just started. Our family was very young. And one Sunday night, we sang at Calvary Church of the Nazarene in Columbus, Indiana. Small little church, small audience that night. And I'll never forget you stopping me as I was winding up the cords, putting the sound system away, and saying, "The Lord spoke to me on something tonight. I want to talk to you about it." On the way home, you told me something that has been really the turning point of our ministry 20 years ago. And I want you to share that with them.
Well, first of all, many of you that know us know that Phil is a visionary, a big visionary and dreamer, and so he's always getting the big ideas. But this night was different. I was sitting at the piano, and Phil was talking to the audience. I don't think there were 30 people there if we'd have counted. And the Lord began to speak to me and say, in my heart, there's so much I could do through your little family. Keep in mind, our kids at the time were 10, 8, 5, and 2. And we had just started this ministry, and the Lord began to say to me, there's so much I could do through your little family, but you don't pray enough. And my spirit was arrested that night because we lived a very busy life. And yes, we prayed, but we didn't give our full attention to something like that. We read our Bibles and prayed, had devotions like a normal Christian. But this was something different the Lord was calling us to, was to get intentional and get serious about calling on the name of the Lord. So there were two things he gave me that night that we were to pray about. One was the salvation of those 4 little kids that were sitting on the front row that night looking up at us as we were trying to sing. They would get up and sing one little song and then go sit down, and then Phil and I would do some duets or whatever. That was the first thing we were to pray about, is that the Lord, about their salvation. And the second thing was that we were to pray that God would help us to be effective for his kingdom out there, not our own. It was so real to me that I ran to Phil afterwards. It didn't take long for the people to evacuate the building afterwards. And I told him that I needed to talk to him. And when we got in the car, I told him exactly what I just told you that the Lord had spoken to me about. And he looked at me and said, well, we hadn't even pulled out of the parking lot of the church yet. And he said, I'm going to be gone tomorrow night, which would have been Monday night. He said, but I'll be home on Tuesday. You want to pray Tuesday night? And I said, sure. I didn't know it would be that easy just for us to say, let's just start. And so on Tuesday night, we put the kids to bed early and told them that we were going to go pray and pray for them. And we got down there in that living room. I'll never forget, the first night was a little awkward because, as I said, we read our Bibles, we prayed, but we really never prayed together as a couple. We tucked the kids in bed at night and prayed with them, but not coming together to seriously pray together about things. And so that night, we knew the two things we were definitely supposed to pray about, the ones that the Lord had spoken to me about 2 days prior. But that started something that has really proven to be powerful in our lives. Everything that people see out here, anything good that has happened, we attribute it to those Tuesday nights, getting alone with the Lord. He has, in those moments, many times stopped us from doing something stupid, making dumb decisions. Not to say that we haven't made silly decisions along the way in the last 20 years, but most of the time, if not all of the time that we made the wrong decision, it was when we were lacking in prayer. And so God has been so gracious and really, really led us the last 20 years. And those Tuesday night prayer meetings have been key moments for us when God has given us direction about decisions that were needing to be made. So I don't know why God sets it up like this. You know what? He's God. He can do anything he wants, whenever he wants, and however he wants to do it. But for whatever reason, he set it up that he wants his children to call on him. And in Jeremiah, he said, call unto me and I will show you, I'll answer you, he said, and I will show you great and mighty things you know not of. In Hebrews, he said, I am the rewarder of those who diligently seek me. And so the Collingsworth family, we believe in the awesome, amazing, mighty power of prayer because we believe in the very depths of our hearts and souls that it really changes things. It matters and it makes a difference. And so when we got the song Awesome Power of Prayer, written by Rachel McCutcheon and I believe Marcia Henry, immediately, as soon as I heard it, I loved the way that it was written because musically it was challenging in the altos and sopranos and everything going everywhere in their parts. But not even just that. So much more than that was that I loved the lyric. that it's the simply marvelous, awesome power of prayer that makes a difference in our lives, and we believe it with everything in us.
When a mortal can talk to